Okay. Hey, how's it going, guys? Starting up the stream now. I'm just getting things set up. It's been a little while. Admittedly, it's been a little while. I want to give a quick shout out. Thank you so much to Wolfina318. I'm not sure if I ever did. Thank you for the follow, but I appreciate the follow. And Kashmir, KVSHM1R, Kashmir. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Currently at 92 followers. I'm on the brink of 100, which is really exciting and fantastic news. Something I'm very delighted about. But simultaneously, I mean, you can obviously from the title glean that there's stuff going on. So, yeah, tonight I'm going to be opening up about a little bit of that. There's a few topics that I'll be covering tonight. Some of it might get a little intense. Just a heads up, I guess. There will be some sensitivity warnings leaning into this. There may be a few topics that get discussed that people aren't necessarily super comfortable with. Sorry if I seem slightly distracted. I'm changing and updating the stream information so that it actually reflects what we're doing. Yeah. There we go. This is not specifically a Grand Theft Auto stream. This is a just chatting stream. There we go. All right. Anyway, so there may be some sensitive topics. If that is the case, you know, you're welcome to come stay, do whatever you want to do, chill out for a while. You're welcome to head out if that's, you know, uncomfortable for you. You don't have to feel, you know, you don't necessarily have to stick around if you don't feel comfortable doing so. So, obviously that is the case. I decided that GTA would be a good platform to use just because I don't plan to actually play the game. I'm just going to sit and customize vehicles and just kind of chill, relax. It's something I can do without having to dedicate much focus or time or effort on. I can just have it going on in the background so that it's not just you know, nothing. I wanted something there in case you know, just some sort of entertainment because I understand that something should be happening on the screen. To be perfectly honest, I considered initially making this a stream in which I would have my face and everything else, and I'd show off my hair. I just got my hair cut. I did a Viking braid the other night, currently rocking like a man bun, like, you know, the onion top, whatever. But I'm really happy about the new haircut. There's a bunch of stuff going on otherwise, though, that so again, just, I mean, sensitivity warning, there will be some topics discussed. If you're just joining the stream, just know that there will be several different topics coming up, some drama, some general things happening that you know, it's just a lot of stuff happening. Thank you everybody for tuning in the stream. I see people are rolling in. I appreciate you being here, guys. Thank you so much. It's yeah, there's just a lot going on. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the car around. I gotta get out of that mode. Drive my Tesla. I mean, I know it's called a Coil Raiden, but it's a Tesla. It's absolutely a Tesla. Anyway. Actually, one of these nights here soon, I gotta actually log into another account, see if I can win that new car. I mean, it's not a new car, it's that car, but either way. I believe it's running an ad break really quick, guys, so it'll be... You know, that'll be happening in the background, so... Sorry. I'm going to share my Twitch stream in a couple places just for anybody that wants to tune in. They can. So my viewer count is being really weird and buggy right now. I don't know what that's all about, but thank you everybody who is here. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm gonna call in a car real quick too. Come on. Get rid of the car that I'm currently running. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Hi. I know, I recognize you. And I appreciate you being here. Yo, I don't know what is happening with Twitch right now. I know there's a bunch of people here right now, several people, and it's showing that I have, like, no viewers. So, I don't know. Twitch is doing its weird algorithm bullshit where it's just glitched. Regardless, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Sorry, this isn't going to be like a high action or anything. It's literally going to be me and basically just chatting with you guys, and I definitely want to. So, you know, if you guys want to tune in, chat, do whatever you'd like to do, I will try and answer questions. I will happily hydrate and certainly not dihydrate. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the redemption, the channel points redemption, or NB points, I guess. I'm actually going to log out of that. There we go. Either way, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, as I was saying, I'm going to return this car to storage. I'm going to pull in a car that I can customize, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend this stream talking about a few very, very specific topics. Press F in chat. I see. Thank you so much, Iron Eyes. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. So I'm just going to be talking about a few very specific topics. Some that are going to be sensitive with content. Some that are going to be very dramatic. There's going to be a lot of topics being discussed. So if at any point any of the things discussed in this stream do bother you, I understand if you need to bail on the topic, if it's too sensitive for you, if it's problematic. I don't hold it against you. I will not see it as any sort of offense or anything. I totally understand. It's just a few things that I definitely want to get out and just kind of just get off of my mind. I don't know what I want to modify. Wait, what was that? Felon riding. I could modify my squatty. I've not done that yet. Oh man, I don't know what I want to modify. Gauntlet, Hellfire, Tyrus, Krieger. So let's, while I'm deciding on what car I'm going to modify in the background, because it's literally just something going on in the background for me. There's a few topics that will be brought up, one of which is going to be some sensitive material something that's been a piece of drama that I've been involved in, involuntarily for the most part. Something that's part of the reason why I have not been streaming the last week. Well, there's a number of reasons, but this is a pretty much a driving force in that, and that is something to do with a Discord server that I was recently introduced to by a friend, a very close personal friend of mine. Some drama happened in that. It kind of got out of hand very quickly and went downhill very abruptly, unfortunately. I'm not really sure what all happened there, but I do know that there's a lot of awful things that did. So we'll get into that. We'll do the Dominator GTT. How about that? Regardless, there's going to be that topic. I'm going to be discussing a few other things, just kind of general stuff happening with me right now, and with just life things and other, personal topics that I feel are okay to introduce on stream, stuff like that. What I'm working on, what I'm going to be doing. Oops, nope, Dominator GTT I have modified. Wrong car. Thinking of the other Dominator, I think. So, recently, I was introduced to a Discord server. We'll get right into the heavy topic. This is going to be kind of the meat of it. Recently, I was introduced to a Discord server by a close personal friend. I will not specify who. Welcome to the stream. Nah, I appreciate that. Thank you for the redemption of the hydrate or dihydrate. I will certainly hydrate. Thus, I will not dihydrate. Thank you. Ooh. Anyway, so I was recently introduced to this Discord server. I won't mention names of who was involved specifically. The only names that I will use are my own and the specific person in question. The person of interest, I guess. So this server, this Discord server, was named Stinger's Trailer Park. Kind of a funny name. Wasn't really sure what to expect, but I joined it. I was sent a request by a friend because they said, well, this is a very supportive community. This is a community where streamers come, they, collaborate, and they support one another, and it had really wonderful pretenses. So when you join, the first things that you notice are, number one, the people are very quick to hop to it and say, hey, what are your pronouns? What is your username? What should we call you? Things like that. You just give a lot of preliminary information, just kind of general stuff, right? Very introductory. They give you, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the server. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This channel can be used for this. This channel can be used for this. It was very seemingly just very positive and good vibes on the surface, and everything seemed very wonderful and cheery, and I appreciated that. However, things would get very dark very quickly with that, and it's not at all what I expected to happen, obviously. So they started with this wonderful pretense. All these wonderful things, inviting me in and making me feel like I was part of a good system. And, they say, well, if you post, are you a Twitch streamer? What is your channel? Things like that. Like, they try and give you specific tags and things so it's easy to find your stuff. They tell you the channels where you can post links, things like that. They tell you how to use the use the channels and use the server as a whole. And it's great. It seemed like a really good platform, something that I could use for Twitch, for streaming. And let me know. I decided that I would try to take full advantage of that. Unfortunately, after getting involved with this and getting all of this set up, soon into doing all of this, I was met with a few really weird instances, a few things. Stinger was the name of the person who ran and operated and began this server on Discord. Went by Stinger, an older gentleman, I believe somewhere close to 40 years old. I have no idea what his real name is. I'm not looking to dox this person. I'm not looking to give any specific information on how to find this person or anything like that. I will only just refer to him as his online identity, Stinger. So Stinger started this Discord server and had various other social medias and things that he would use. And he would use this all to connect with other people through Twitch, through social media, through the server, through all different kinds of means. And he would reach out and try and make everybody feel relatively welcomed and appreciated and try and give everybody their little bit of limelight.
Get there as soon as I can.
Little spotlight, not limelight. But, I noticed that this person seemed to have a little bit of preferential treatment towards certain individuals. It seemed at first, I thought maybe it was just people that had been in the server for a while. I hadn't made any connections yet. And it seemed like people that had been there for a bit got preferential treatment, very obvious things like if you'd been there and you shared your stream, he would endorse you. He would post your thing and try and get a lot of people involved and to join and, support and get you followers and things like that. Seemed really cool, constructive, and I was totally fine with that, but I wanted to be part of that ecosystem, obviously. Well, unfortunately, I didn't notice that for the short time that I was in there that I was getting much support. I would, share my stream and my information and try getting people involved, and I did get a couple of people from it that would interact at all. But, I wasn't too perturbed by this either. I'm not fishing for viewers or followers or anything. So, where's mod? I'll mod the vehicle. So I got these few people, this handful of people, and I certainly appreciated it, but a few things seemed off quickly. Number one, I soon started to realize that this person, this Stinger, pretty much the people that he would endorse, almost every single one of them seemed to be feminine, specifically. Whether, regardless of pronouns, if they seem to be feminine, to use feminine pronouns, or to seem aesthetically, feminine leaning at all, he had a preference to those people. And I thought it was a little weird. I didn't think too much of it beyond that. I thought it was kind of a little bizarre, but I've seen that before, and it didn't bother me that much. So I just, I said in general chat at one point, I asked if I was doing things correctly, if I needed to post it elsewhere, if I needed to put other information or add more so that maybe I would get a few more people to interact with and be part of the community and try and interact with other people's streams and things like that. And no, they just kind of doubled down and reinforced the idea that I was doing things correctly if I was posting in certain channels, which I was. So that seemed to be up and up. I thought, okay, well, if I'm doing things correctly, then I guess I don't have much to worry about. I'm going to return to this car later because I have two of these. So I'm actually going to switch out for a different car, something easier to modify. I have a lot of thoughts. I have two of these gauntlets, so I don't want to... Anyway, I wanted to be sure that I was doing things correctly. And they reinforced the idea that I was, that there was no issue there. However, after the first week passed by and I didn't really get much response, I started to question, well, what's going on? So I started looking in the server and checking things out. And I noticed more and more about this Stinger individual. I noticed that he was collaborating with and endorsing and doing a lot of things that seemed to be supportive of specifically feminine members of the community. And it started to get creepier and creepier, but I didn't really point any fingers until somewhat recently. And this, again, I don't want to get too much further without giving another warning. If things get too upsetting at this point or beyond this, I understand. If you need to back out at any point, that is understandable, and I will not hold you accountable. I will not hold that against you, very obviously. So, things continued on in the server for the next couple of days, and I began questioning what is really going on in this server. Something seems off. Something just felt off, felt weird. It just wasn't right.
What you need, boss?
So I started asking questions, talking to friends, talking to my friend who invited me, and I wanted to be supportive. I didn't want to put across this message that I was like, these people in the server, like there's some weird stuff going on, and I don't trust these people. Like I didn't want to raise any weird suspicions, flag myself as something harmful to that community, obviously. But simultaneously, I didn't want to be involved in something that was bad. So I began asking questions, but I tried to do it relatively safely. When I did so, uh, a number of things kind of came about that in the way of I guess I'm not going to say repercussions necessarily, just unforeseen consequences. Just being involved with people. Man, I don't know which cars that I need to upgrade. I'm actually going to switch over to a different character really quick. Let's see, swap character. I'm going to swap to my other character because I know I have a bunch of cars on that to upgrade. Anyway, so I started asking questions. I started bringing up different topics and trying to do this and proceed carefully ahead. When I did, I came across a few things. Number one, I figured out that this person, this Stinger, had been interacting with my friend in a very I mean, I'm not going to say inappropriate because it's between two people and they're consenting adults, so whatever happened, happened. I'm not to place judgment or anything, you know. So any interactions between them, that is what happened. But some information was exchanged. Some very explicit material was exchanged, and I won't pass any judgment, but that's, you know, what happened happened. However, it goes far deeper than that. Unfortunately, it seemed to have a sinister layer to everything. Uh, I would find out later. So basically, this interaction between these two wasn't the only interaction that was happening. This person, this Stinger, had this server open for a very long amount of time, much longer than I'd been there. And he had a habit of exchanging this sort of information with women. He would often support them, but it seemed like in exchange for his support, he would be a little bit too forward, a little too perhaps sexual, would sexualize these people. Oftentimes, they would tell him to stop. Oftentimes, they would ask him very politely to stop or get to the point where they tell him, and he would continue. He wasn't very good at taking no or stop for an answer, unfortunately. So, what it turned out to be, I dug a little deeper, that there were a few feminine members of the community that had been talking to him, whether or not it was consensual or reciprocated or, you know, just something that this person did of their own volition. It's not Christmas anymore. I'm going to change my outfit here. Vaporwave? That's kind of cool. Oop. Let me get out of the road really quick. Sorry. Leather Beach. That's not Cold Front. Summer 11. This. It's Christmas all the time. What do you mean? Oh no, it is certainly not Christmas all the time. Certainly not. I'm very much not for Christmas. Doesn't really matter what I wear. Just trying to pick an outfit. Blood Diamonds, Crank, Vaporwave. I'm just gonna stick with Vaporwave. It's fine. It is what it is. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. What I was discussing. So this person would basically offer his support and would give all these people, you know, all these feminine members of the community, support and bumps and various other things. In response, he would often try and privately DM these people, message these people, and would attempt to sexualize and discuss very sexual things with these people, with these female or feminine members of the community, often trying to get things like nudes and various other sensitive material from them. Essentially, it seemed like what his system was I will give you support as long as you give me, you know, sexual affirmation or you know, nude pictures of yourself or various other sensitive material. He's married, apparently, and would do this while he was married. But he would do this, and then oftentimes what he would do is not only would he exchange this very toxic behavior and expect, you know, women to give him pictures of themselves and reciprocate various feelings that were not reciprocated, not consensual. But he would do this and then claim that these feminine members of the community were chasing him, essentially gaslighting them. He would gaslight these people into making them sound like they were the ones that were being forward towards him, that they were chasing him, that they were doing this voluntarily, that he wasn't asking for these things. You know, he would often brag about this stuff in the chats. I didn't get to see much of this myself, but numerous mods, numerous people that have been there for a very long amount of time, since essentially its creation, some of them, they would confirm this later. Recently there was a stream in which they were discussing openly this topic in a Discord chat. A lot of members who were affected by this terrible, terrible human being. So this man, Stinger, would essentially try and receive, you know, he would ask these women for explicit pictures of themselves and try and hit on them and be very forward sexually with these women in exchange for support in the community, for, you know, follows and views and various other forms of support. And it wasn't a reciprocated exchange. It wasn't consensual. It wasn't something that they wanted necessarily. They just wanted to be part of the community, and he seemed to take that in a very different direction, oftentimes at the expense of these feminine members involved. So while this was happening, there were a number of members in the community that were included in the server and in these Twitch channels and various other, you know, social media and everything. These people, some of these people were underage, minors involved in all of this. And, you know, minors in the server isn't necessarily a problem as long as it's made very specific. You know, everybody knows about it and that it's very relevant. That, you know, as long as it's information that people know. However, this information was not passed around. It wasn't in the rules. There was nothing about guidelines about, you know, mentioning that there are minors in the server, mentioning, you know, certain rules in exchange, you know, you can or can't do these things because there are minors in the server, things like that. So there was nothing on handling situations in which sensitive topics were brought up in chat. If there was vulgar or explicit, you know, text channels or various other material, there were no rules in place for handling that with an environment that involved minors. There was no mention of it whatsoever. So whenever a topic like that was brought up, sometimes there would be negative repercussions towards people because there were minors in the group. However, there were no rules in place. It gets worse, however. Not only were there not rules in place discussing what information is and is not allowed in an environment involving adults and minors, it's specifically, and this is where it gets far more sensitive, so I understand, again, it is reported by people who are minors that were affected by this, as well as people who were not minors but knew what was going on, that Stinger had been approaching some of these people who were underage, some of these girls, or feminine, you know, aesthetically feminine people that were underage, and had been soliciting them with not necessarily requests for explicit material, like explicit photos or anything, but had been doing much the same behavior that he'd been giving to the adult women in the group. He'd been doing to some of these underage girls. essentially prompting them with, um, "I will endorse you, but also, how are you? Hey, cutie, how, what are you up to?" Just trying to text them and message them at all times of the day, and trying to solicit them into, like, various. It seemed almost like he was hitting on them and trying to treat them as if they were like a dating thing, like a couple, or that he was interested or something. And again, these are underage girls. These are like girls that were like 15, 16, 17 years old. And this man is about 40 years old. And this was all happening privately. This was private information. This was not made abundantly clear to the people in the server. So there are a lot of people that were not aware of what was happening. Hey, how's it going, Sushi? Thank you so much for joining the stream. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody who is currently here. Again, there will be some sensitive topics. No names, no identities will be used except for myself and this stinger. That is about the full extent of the exchange of names or sensitive information. So regardless, thank you so much. If you're new to the stream, please do hit that follow button. I certainly appreciate it. Anyway, back to the topic. So there were some people that were very negatively affected by this, very obviously, because not only was this not consensual for a lot of these feminine figures in the group, this was something that was exchanged with people who were underage. So it was extremely inappropriate and even illegal and terrible and immoral and awful. What was happening with this Stinger individual and his Discord server was truly fucking terrible. And unfortunately, I got roped into this thinking that this was going to be a very supportive, very good community. A Discord server with a bunch of people that were trying to support each other and provide a community for streaming and supporting streamers. And I liked the idea of that until I found out all of this other underlying information that really just, it was devastating. It's, it's something that completely changes the way you look at someone. You find out that they're, absolutely disgusting human being, that they're just a monster. And these people, obviously, they not everybody in the server knew what was happening. These people were subjected to this involuntarily for the most part, unless some were involved, I do not know. But obviously, you want to believe that no one else was involved, but I don't know. I can't say that for sure. What I can say is that this Stinger person was the one who engaged pretty much all of these approaches and was the one that came forward towards these feminine members of the community, and specifically the most problematic part about it is towards these underage girls. But it's very abusive and sexually abusive and just predatory, and he was a groomer, and he was actively grooming these people, and it's just such terrible things. And this is unfortunately something that I got roped into recently, was being part of this. I was in this server and I had no idea what was happening, and unfortunately, this shit happens. It looks like I'm on an ad break, so I'm gonna give it a sec here. I'm gonna kind of look at my modifications on this car. And again, like, I know this isn't necessarily like what should be on the screen for a sensitive topic, but it's quite literally just, I want something here so that you have something that's entertaining that you can view, and it's not just a conversation with myself. I'm just kind of getting a quick browse through all the options here. Alright, so we're back from ad break, perfectly timed, wonderful. So, a lot of people were affected by this, and they had a stream a few days ago where some of these people that were negatively affected by this, that were directly affected by this, opened up and discussed this topic. And I hope to go back and save that VOD later. I will not include that in this stream. But what I will say is that a lot of people were affected by this, and in a terrible, terrible way. This Stinger person is a fucking absolute monster. And I just wanted to come clean about that. I wanted to open up that that's part of the reason I haven't been streaming lately, is because I was involved in this, because I was part of the server. I joined for like maybe a week, week and a half, 2 weeks at most, for a very short amount of time, but enough to be affected by this terrible fucking thing that happened. And I feel terrible. I feel, it's disgusting. I feel sick about it. It's awful. I hate that happened. I hate that I was involved at all, had any association with that server at all. But there were some genuinely good people in there. Some that they've pulled back and they've offered, a good open environment to discuss these things. A medium. They've given their channels and given time for other people to come forward and discuss how they've been negatively affected by this person and by this server. And some of these people need support, and I want to say that for those people I am here. Yes, that is the topic that we are discussing, Sushi. That is currently one of the topics that I'm discussing, yes. If you do not wish to be here for this, that's totally fine. I understand. I plan to get through this, and then I will move on to some other topics. I just wanted to open up and get this one out of the way before I got into anything else. But yes, that is currently what is. Love you too. Thank you so much. I always love you, everybody. I love my community. I love my friends, and I love my family, and I love the people who support and have been here for things. And yes, Sushi, I love you too. Thank you so much. I try to be as supportive as possible, and I like a good supporting environment as well. However, I'm just so sorry that I got involved, and I'm so sorry for the people that were negatively affected by that terrible fucking monster's server and everything that he did. It's not okay. None of what he did was okay. None of what he did was good. It's fucking terrible. It's absolutely fucking monstrous, and I'm so sorry to everybody that was there, that was affected by that. I am so sorry. I wish I could do more. All I can do is say that, hey, I'm here. I'm happy to give my support in whatever way I can. And if anybody does need someone to talk to about those topics, even if you weren't involved with the Stinger's Trailer Park, whatever, now that I look back, like, that name is creepy in and of itself. Regardless, if you're somebody that you want to open up about any topic, regardless of what it is, you need somebody to talk to, I want you to know I'm here. I'm always here. I will always be here. You have my social medias. You have every way to talk to me. If you want, you can reach out in chat. You can let me know you want to talk about a topic, and I will always be there for you. If I can make the time, I will be there. If you have anything you want to discuss, I'm always there in support, in solidarity. So I just want to say, I'm sorry, I don't even have my controller in my hands right now, so nothing's going to happen, but I just want to say I am here. I want to be here. I want to help as best I can. I want to lend whatever services, whatever support, whatever anything I can give you, you have it. So anybody who needs that, anybody who wants to open up about any of those topics, anything at all, regardless of what it is, I am somebody to lean on. And I just want to be there for you. So thank you very much. And thank you, everybody who's here. I appreciate you guys being here. If you are watching this in the VOD later, I do appreciate you being there as well. And, just know that I am here for support. So, and I will support as best I can. I love you guys very much. So, I just wanted to open up and get that topic out of the way. It's a lot of drama that I was involved in, and because of that, I haven't been streaming. There's other things as well, but that was a major reason why I haven't been streaming lately, as I've been sorting through that. That happened kind of I got kicked from the group, actually, from that server, when I started questioning things, and I brought up in chat that there should be rules about things involving the distinction between adults and minors, and a community that has both should have rules in place that are very clear and obvious about handling discussions and various other topics involved. So when I brought that up, I was immediately kicked from the group, which is an indicator enough that there was some shady shit happening. And yeah. Okay, redeemed. Highlight my message. Iron Eyes said, makes you wonder who on the admin team knew about this and for how long. Yes, that's what I've been thinking about, and that's why I'm not calling out any names. I don't know them well enough, and I don't know what all happened. I know that some people were aware of Stinger and what he was doing to some people. There were some people who talked to him about this subject that realized that he was being way too forward with feminine members of the community, that he was... I'm not sure if anybody knew that he was talking to minors in that way, but there were some minors that came out at some point, including one recently, just a couple of days ago, I guess. Again, I saw this in a stream. They were people affected were discussing this openly. She opened up about her experience and mentioned that he had been very forward relationship-wise. He seemed to be very, even though he's a married 40-year-old man, he was very forward with this 17-year-old girl, and it seemed like he wanted to get information from her, wanted to get closer. And I don't know how close specifically. I wasn't there for the conversation, obviously. But given all of the other things that we know about him, that is not fucking okay. None of what he did there was okay. So yes, it does make you wonder. It's pretty fucking sick. So, that happened. When I brought that into question and I realized some weird shit was happening and something needed to be done about it, then I got immediately kicked from that server, and I realized why. And I brought up the information, and the thing is, again, I'm not going to call names, I'm not going to say anything, but I did say to my friend who did introduce me to the server, I mentioned that to them that this Stinger was problematic, that there were a lot of issues, there was a lot of hypocrisy, there were a lot of contradictions in this server, and that there was a lot of creepy shit happening, and that he seemed to be having some favoritism towards feminine members of the group. And when I brought this forward, I found out later as well, compounded upon that he had been doing this very inappropriate stuff involving feminine people, or people that were non-binary or various other, but had, regardless, feminine aesthetically or various other, it seemed to be a type. He was very forward with them, was very inappropriate, was not obeying consent. He was just very inappropriate and disgusting, and it was made very apparent, to everybody involved that he was doing some really shady, awful shit. I feel disgusted that I was in that group for that reason. At the same time, I do appreciate that there were some truly wonderful people that were there that just were just as unfortunate as I was to have been there. Like, it's really fucking... It's so shitty that you try to be part of an environment that you think is supportive and good, and it turns out to be something that's essentially just a front for a really creepy sexual abuser and predator and a groomer and various other things you want to call this person. Like, it's so fucked up. and I feel so fucking terrible for the people that had to actually be involved with this fucking creep. And I'm so sorry to those people. Thank you so much, Luna. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope we're gonna have a good stream. It's kind of heavy topics right now, but I do appreciate the lurk. Thank you. So yeah, I just wanted to open up and say that, get it completely out in the open. First things first, you know. So if you've been wondering why I haven't been streaming lately, that's part of the reason. However, I'm going to get to different topics here. The other part of the reason is because I've been just kind of going through a bit of a downhill, just kind of a bit of general depression and various other things, and just there's just been a lot going on, and I'm dealing with that mentally, just trying to get through all of it, trying to tackle it, and it's a lot. You know, sometimes it's just a lot to deal with. And yeah, so I hope you guys can forgive me for my absence. I don't want to be absent, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing all right. I'm still here, but I just hope that you understand that I do go through things from time to time, and I'm just currently going through stuff. So, you know, just need a little bit of time here and there, and it's good to occasionally take a break from things when you need it. Excuse me. I'm actually going to hydrate again. So, yeah. I just wanted to get all of that information out in the open and to give an explanation. So there's that. That happened. That is real shitty, and that's now out of the way. On the bright side, I will say a few things have happened. Number one, that information has come to light, and because of that, as a result, Stinger, his social media accounts have pretty much all gone dark. It seems like his social media presence is pretty much absent now. In addition to that, his server seems to be clearing out rather quickly. It doesn't seem like people want to be involved with someone who is as abusive and predatory and disgusting as he is. So people are finally getting the idea to bail on that before anybody else gets hurt. So that's a good thing that's happening. So hopefully he won't have any other presence or be able to negatively affect people anymore. I don't want to see people get hurt by this terrible human being. So, regardless, I think we should now lighten the mood a little bit. I'm sorry that it got dark for a little bit, but I think we should lighten the mood, and let's talk about other things. First and foremost, let's see. Like a little bit of... yeah, I can do that. That's fine. There we go. First and foremost, currently, I'm trying to get back into... I'll be returning to some semblance of normalcy with streaming. Monday, I'm going to be doing my stream for Critical Role. It'll be the Critical Reflection stream on Monday. So I'll be doing that again, and I look forward to doing so. And yeah, I'm sorry that I took a break. I just needed to step away for a little bit, and I hope you understand why. But yeah, I'm going to be returning to that very shortly here, and do a half gauge. There we go. So soon I'll be returning to that. That'll be perfectly fine. I'm looking forward to returning to some normalcy and being regular on my streaming again. I have a lot of games planned, a lot of things that I want to do. Obviously, there's going to be some more of the same, you know, Phasmophobia and my Critical Reflection streams and stuff like that. But I have some other games. I have some early access games. Currently, I'm playing, oh man, Super People. It's a battle royale in early access on Steam, and it's really fun. I plan to do that on stream. Funny enough, I joined that with some friends, or a friend, the other night. We played, we did terribly, and then I went into solos, and the first game I played, I had a first place win. I won that game. So, hey, you know, maybe I'm just really good in solos and bad on a team dynamic. I guess I'm usually a team player kind of gamer, but I don't know. Either way, I have that. I have plenty of other early access. Couldn't think of the name. Early access games that I look forward to playing here soon. I also have Tiny Tina's Wonderland. The PlayStation Plus released a free-to-play adventure. It's like a one-shot thing. And it's Borderlands, but it's a Dungeons and Dragons inspired environment, and I want to play that on stream so badly. So soon I should be playing that. I'm going to be trying these early access games. I tried some Pro Mod the other night, and it wasn't really for me, I decided. So I'm probably not going to be doing Pro Mod. But that other one that was very polygonal, it's called Polygon, appropriately. There was a first-person shooter. I'll play some more of that. I had a little bit of fun with that, so there should be more of that to come soon. Additionally, there's just a handful of other games. I mean, I have somewhere upwards of 450, close to 500 games at this point. So I have a lot of different games to play, and I look forward to playing them all. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of those games I look forward to playing. But regardless, I want to know if is there anything you would like to see me play specifically? If there is, by all means, mention it in chat. If there's any games that you guys want to play with me, mention those in chat. I love to have feedback from you. Let me know if I'm doing okay, if you like what I'm doing in the stream, you know, stuff like that. Just let me know what you think, how I can improve, various things like that. I'm always happy to, you know, I want to do my best for you guys. I want you guys to be entertained. I want you guys to enjoy what I'm doing, the content that I'm making. I certainly appreciate having you guys here and involved, so I want you to feel as part of the community, and I want you to feel actually appreciated without any weird sexualized pretenses beneath the surface. I want you to feel as much a part of this as I am. So if there's anything I can do, I want to be here. I want to give a good, positive, helpful, supportive community that is actually all of those things. And I just want to be, I want to be here. And I thank you very much for being here with me, guys. Man, I don't know. I don't know what wheels. I'm going to go black wheels. I know that for sure. I'm going to find some cheap rims. Oh, that's why. So yeah, regardless, I appreciate you guys being here. So, other topics. I'm currently part of 4 D&D campaigns. And in those 4 D&D campaigns, and I mean not literally all specifically in Dungeons & Dragons. I say that, but that's also just kind of my way of giving a generalized, like, I'm in 4 campaigns that are TTRPGs. And in those, I'm currently, let's see, I'm part of two of them are 5th edition D&D. One that was supposed to initially be a stream, which we decided not to do. That one I'm playing a Forge Domain Cleric, Dwarf. His name is Friar Wolfgang von Ollivander. And that was a lot of fun. We're doing that usually on Wednesday nights. I'm having some fun with that. The other 5th edition campaign that I'm part of, I'm running a Swiftstride Shifter that is a Hexblood. So they are affected by a hag's curse, essentially. and they have this like subdermal crown of thorns, beneath the skin of their forehead, that is a sign of being, half hag. So obviously, being a swift-stride shifter, they're animalistic. So she's a cat person. She has little like cat ears and claws and a tail, and she usually hides her hands, at least beneath gloves. But she's been coming forward with her other features, and she has her tail now and has her ears shown, and she's more forward about it. Before she hid it, given her situation when we started the campaign, she felt that she needed to hide those features. Now she doesn't feel the need to do so. So, yeah. Oh man, I can almost glitch those wheels. Anyway, so regardless, I'm currently part of that. That's been a lot of fun. Those two. She's a sorcerer, by the way. It's called a Witchblade. It's a homebrew from someone on Reddit. I could possibly link the information if requested. I'd be happy to link that if anybody needs that. But regardless, I'm playing a Swift-Stride Shifter Sorcerer Hexblood. It's a mouthful. And she's just adorable. She's in love with somebody, and she loves her friends, her first friends in the world that she's ever had. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to go with these, I think. I think these would be fun. Pepper Pot. I kind of dig that. Very Countach, Lamborghini Countach, but it's got a lot of, like, circular shapes, and I kind of want to tie that in with the rest of the cars, so I think I'm going to go with those. Anyway, yeah, so I'm part of those two 5th edition campaigns. Beyond that, I'm part of 2 Pathfinder campaigns as well. One of which I am running a character, kind of a weird one, very out there. They're a beholder. Their name is Daedalus. They're a beholder, but they're made into a player race, so they're not overpowered and broken. They don't have all the abilities and everything else of a beholder necessarily. So no worries. It's not like I'm playing some super broken character or whatever. But they are very, they're a caster. They're what's called an Eldritch Godling, and they're very, I don't know, they're weird. They're just weird. I can't even give it anything beyond that, because I don't really know what else to say about that situation. They're just a very bizarre individual. And yeah, they just have a lot going on, and they're very supportive, and they want to know more about, like, other creatures, and they're part of a guild that's of monsters that are trying to be part of society and involve themselves and not be treated as a monster. And it's just really wholesome and sweet, and I like that. And of course, there's still a beholder, so there's some weird stuff going on there, but it's just fun to play a monstrous character that isn't a monster. I don't know how I feel about the spoilers here. I'm going to have to sit on this for a sec while I talk for a bit. Regardless, so I'm playing in that, and then in the other group, I'm kind of playing a cast of characters, so it's weird. Both of my characters that I'm playing, my main characters, have the leadership feat, which means they come with allies. One that I started with, his name is Lord Monty Voxier the First. He is a Kitsune trickster, so a rogue, and he uses his charm and his disguises and things to get into things and to persuade people to do things. And he's just a lovable, fluffy boy, and he's very flamboyant, and I love him dearly. He is admittedly my favorite character I've ever played. However, he was the prince to the emperor of this far-off land, and his father died. So he returned home, which he abandoned long ago, and he's returned home to to take up his position as the prince. And in the meantime, while he's in the palace, I've taken up a new character. Her name is Jigoku. Jigoku no Daisaiji. This is like a very feudal Japanese, Chinese kind of fusion. just kind of an Asian-inspired campaign setting. It's really wonderful and great. The DM is wonderful, amazing story writer, and it's just a really great group of people. So, Jigoku is this paladin. She's this like paladin samurai in a Oyori armor with this massive weapon, and she's an Oni-styled tiefling. So she's a tiefling, but she's like 6.5 feet tall. Her heritage is driven towards, leaning towards Onis. So she's this big, tall, demonic creature, red-skinned, with a like an eye in the middle of her forehead, massive forearms, and this massive weapon that looks like a Tetsubo, but the blunt Tetsubo unsheathes into a great big sword on the inside. And I mentioned before she has the leadership feat, which comes with followers. Her followers, she has a cleric to keep her going and kind of keep the party healed, because we don't have a healer. No one in the party wanted to take up the healing utility, so I made a cleric who is a shrine maiden, shrine priestess, also known as a Miko. Her name is Sachiko, Miko Sachiko, and she's a kitsune with sakura pink hair and fox ears and 2 foxtails, or three foxtails, excuse me. And yeah, she's just very soft-spoken. She doesn't really say much, unlike myself. But yeah, she's just she's wonderful and very. I guess they're all just very wonderful characters, and I love the characters that my fellow players have made, and we just have a good group there. So that's been a lot of fun to play in. Iron Eyes says, tell them about the current dungeon. Oh, the current dungeon. Well, so I'll just say right out, Iron Eyes is my dungeon master. Wonderful human being, love him dearly. And I wasn't just trying to ham it up because you were in this stream. I wasn't sure if you were still here or not, honestly. But the current dungeon that we're in, we're in the cavern system. Oh no, we got out of the cavern system. We're now in the fortress. But we had to go up through this cavern system, up through this like trash chute beneath this fortress on the cliffside of a mountain, and we had to climb up through this to get to a feudal lord, who is essentially kind of like a mob boss. He's kind of like a gang leader, mob boss type of character. And he's a terrible criminal, and he's hired all these other criminals that are, I mean, essentially big paychecks for us. We're marching through this dungeon up to the top of it so that we can get what we need, but also there's we've been tasked by the Empire essentially to march up through, but also all these other big bounties are throughout this castle, this massive fortress on this cliffside mountain. And yeah, conveniently. So we're marching up through, and it's kind of funny. We came up through, tried to be super stealthy. We alerted basically everybody in the fortress to our presence in trying to be stealthy, and failed miserably. And we had to fight our way through a bunch of people, which we did handily. And then we murdered this like awful dude who killed one of our party members at the beginning of the campaign. And so we got some revenge. Unfortunately, that means we're not going to get the full bounty on him. But at the same time, we got revenge. Well, it looks like I'm on another ad break, so give it 1 second. I'll be right back in. I'm going to keep looking at these diffusers. I don't know. With that, because we seem to be relatively super stock about it. So anyway, as I was saying, we marched up through this place, and we've you know, quote-unquote, were stealthy about it. We weren't. Failed miserably. They were alerted to our presence, and they came up through the cavern system to our backs, and we had to take this guy out. We did so very handily, and he, on his retreat, we ended up taking him out, killing him, and we plan to return him for a bounty. Whatever we can get out of that bounty. I think I'm going to go with this spoiler. Tuner wing. Excuse me for one sec. Okay. Sorry, I just had to cough for a sec. Anyway, so that's been fun. We got up into the building, ran into some servants who we are going to free, and we told them that we would be back for them, that we'd be freeing them very soon, that first we had to get to their boss, so they pointed us in the direction of him, and we're currently en route to intercept him. He knows of our presence, so he will be preparing for us, but we plan to still, you know, achieve our goal and take him. However, we did also find one of our targets, one of our other bounties, just sitting in a room playing cards, basically. So we decided we'd intercept him, not unanimously, just one party member decided, well, I'm going to sneak up on this person and stealthily coup de grace this evil, vile, terrible criminal, which they did. They snuck up behind this person, this criminal, and beheaded them at the card table with a coup de grace. It was amazing. I've never actually seen that done in a game, and it was crazy. Yeah, so that happened. So we're not being terribly stealthy about it. We killed his other henchmen, and now we have 2 bounties that we've collected, or will be collecting. Then a third one came around the corner and accosted us in a storage room, one of our members of the party. So we started fighting his lackeys in and around this storage room, and managed to take him down as well. So we will be cashing in on, hopefully, 3 bounties by the end of this. We are working towards a couple more, but it seems like all of our bounties are in one place conveniently. It's been a kind of crazy, kooky series of events in this campaign. I'm looking forward to getting through this, and I don't know, I'm just loving our characters. I'm loving playing my characters. I love character stuff, making characters, hearing about other people's characters. Like, I'm all about character stuff. But yeah, it's been a great campaign, and Iron Eyes is our DM. He's in chat, and he's been our DM for other campaigns in the past, and I play D&D with him a bunch, and he's just a wonderful human being. I really love that group of people. And other people I'm currently playing with, I love our groups very much, and I mean, there's always ups and there's downs and various other things, but I'm just very appreciative of the people that we have. I keep forgetting to actually change this exhaust. I'm going to do that real quick. So, yeah, I'm just really stoked about where the campaign is taking us, and I just really love a lot of aspects about that campaign and about the other campaigns that I'm a part of. I just like them a lot. I think we're doing a lot of really cool things in those. Honestly, I'm not going to do this tonight, but another night I would like to have another one of these chatting sessions. I'd like to talk about a story, something I did in one of the campaigns. It's the first successful escape that I ever had. It was a solo escape, and I managed to do it, like, expertly. I pulled everything off. I mean, I say expertly. I did fuck up at one point and, you know, notify the enemies to my position. But immediately after, I managed to escape anyway, so it didn't really matter. I don't know if I like the atomic. We'll stick with atomic. So, I will discuss that in a later stream. I would like to do another Just Chatting sometime, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to discuss that. And, also, I'd like to do this again. Forever ago, I had a stream where I had my viewers create a D&D character for me. Basically, I gave what the options were, and it was basically all the race and class and feats and skills and all the options. And then I let my chat decide for me what I would do, like which options I would pick. And I want to do that again. I want to have you guys, as viewers, build a character for me. And maybe I'll play it, maybe it'll just go into a library somewhere, whatever, you know, into storage. But I think it'd be a lot of fun to do a... Oh god, that is obnoxious. I just think it'd be a lot of fun to do that again with you guys. I had a lot of fun doing that the first time, and the character actually played pretty well. Take a drink. Oh no, oh man, now I gotta take a drink. Shit. I don't have like an alcoholic beverage on me right now. I'll take a shot. I'll take a shot of something. I'll let you pick. Dealer's choice, Iron Eyes. I'll let you pick. I have in my immediate vicinity, I have several liquors. I have Tin Cup whiskey. I have Kraken black spiced rum. By the way, none of this is sponsored. I'm not. I'll say this. I have whiskey. I have black spiced rum. I have melon liqueur. I have tequila. I have some tequila. I have vodka. I have... Oh, gosh. Oh, what else do I have? Oh, no. What are these? I have Pink Whitney vodka. Pink lemonade vodka. Oh, this has been open, but it is liquor, so it should be fine. I have whatever this is. Rum. Some rum. It's a shooter bottle of rum. And I have a gin. And I'll let you pick, dealer's choice. What am I going to take a shot of? Tequila! Alright. I haven't had this tequila in a while. It's kind of just been sitting here collecting dust. I do want to say, this is not a endorsement necessarily, or any kind of advertisement. I'm not sponsored, anything like that. But it is Dwayne The Rock Johnson's tequila, Terramana Reposado. Big fan of Reposados. I'm not a big fan of white tequila, of Blanco. Big fan of Añejo and of Reposado. And Reposado is typically what I go for, more than any other kind of tequila. I guess I can use the whiskey tin shooter thing. It's a shot glass that comes on the top of the whiskey bottle, and I'll use that for my shot. And you can't see me on camera, but I am currently uncorking. I don't know if you heard that. Drink my worm? How's it going, Rich? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. I'm not going to be drinking any worms. I'm not going to be, there's no worms involved in this tequila. That, honestly, it's actually a common misconception. Tequila doesn't usually come with a worm. It's usually, mezcal that comes with a worm. Which is similar, but it is not the same as tequila. Mezcal is really wonderful as well, if you get a good mezcal. I like a very smoky mezcal. I know mezcal, for the most part, is smoky regardless. They usually, what they'll do is they will smoke the, with mezcal, they'll often smoke the what is it called? It's agave. They smoke the agave, which gives it a lot of its flavor. It gets a smoky flavor. Let's see. Highlight my message. Red Rasha says, penis! That's the whole message. Penis! That's okay. Love it. Thank you so much. And, Big Rich says, how's it going, MJ? It's going pretty well. We're having a chat stream. I'm just kind of chilling out, relaxing with you guys. I love having you here. I love the support. I just kind of have GTA stuff on in the background. As you can see, I've been modifying a car in the background, just kind of something leisurely. It's an absolutely wonderful use of points there, Red Rasha. I appreciate that. So, really quick, again, I poured myself a shot. I'm going to drink this shot of tequila. I don't know if you heard me slam the, God damn it! Rich! Rich! Damn it! Another! Yay! Rich redeemed. Take a shot. Alright. What am I drinking this time? Same choices. Gin, pink lemonade vodka, rum, black spiced rum, whiskey, melon liqueur, vodka, or tequila. Red Rasta says, y'all are trying to make them drunk. I will not get drunk. I do not get drunk on stream, and I know that that's also a thing that Twitch does not promote. I will... A taste of that tequila is weird some of the time. When you're not expecting it. I do have Kraken, yes. Hydrate or dihydrate. Thank you so much! I appreciate that. Thank you! Agua. I need to actually refill my water. My water bottle's almost empty. I've been drinking so much water. You guys have been redeeming so many hydrate or dihydrates. Kraken. Alright. We're mixing it up. Oh, it's not even a small bottle. Like, the bottle I have is literally a big bastard. 1.75 liter of Kraken. She's a big old hefty lass. Oh, Jesus. All right, we're gonna have some black spiced rum on top of the tequila. Sounds like a great idea. Well, drinking streams are technically Twitch has. They don't want people to get drunk. They don't want to promote heavy drinking. You can have some shots, you can have some drinks, you can have stuff like that. That's not a problem. They have no problems with that. But if you're getting like drunk and it becomes like a problem, perhaps a health issue or something, you know, promotes alcoholism or anything like that, they can and possibly will shut down the stream, or could even it could result in some penalty to your account. They may be common to have drinks on stream, which I'm sure is common. I know of some that do that personally. But you can't promote excess of drinking or anything that is possibly a hazard. So, bottoms up, I guess. Kraken. Whew. Oh, yeah, hold on. I don't know if you heard... I don't know if you heard the, I don't know if you heard the tin shooter cup clap the wood as I set it back down. But I'm gonna take another drink, not like an alcoholic drink, just a regular, something to wash it down with. Jeez, I was not prepared to drink anything tonight. I don't drink much anymore. The occasional beer, but typically when I drink beer, it's in a social setting. I'm sitting down playing some like D&D or something with friends. That's about it. I don't drink much anymore. Yeah, so they definitely... there are many cases of this, too. I'm not just trying to say this and being like, this is an excuse. Like, no. There have been streams that have had a lot of, had penalties to them or been taken down because they... test track. Let's go test track. I want to drive it. Because people were, promoting drinking on stream, like, in excess or whatever. If it became a health issue or it became a problem, Excuse me. Otherwise. Yay, Red Rush, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the support. I understand you got to get headed out. I appreciate you being here. Genuinely, I love you very much. Very dear friend of mine. And, yeah, always thank you so much for the support. So, have a wonderful night. Good luck with your speech. And, I hope... Nope. I don't think I can drift this car. Woo! Not really. Yeah, this is not a drift-worthy car. Oh, it cuts out, too. Yeah, this is not a very good car for drifting at all. It's just a sports car. Anyway, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for having tuned into the stream. So yeah, guys, I guess, I mean, we already covered the dense part of my spiel. We talked about the drama and the bullshit that had been happening as of the last week or two. Yeah, so there's that out of the way, gladly, and I don't really plan to return to that unless somebody wants a recap or a refresher at all. If you want any information, by all means, I'll answer questions. Oh, my headlight. My poor headlight. Anyway, so yeah, we've discussed that whole shitty topic, and I'll let you look at the not broken side of the car. So I'll actually put it on this scenic. So yeah, I'm a part of several different campaigns. I've been doing a lot of D&D lately. I'm keeping up with a few other things. I'm still trying to get my job stuff out there. I'm still putting in applications to trying to get down to Texas, actually. I don't know if I've actually revealed that on stream or not, that I'm planning on going to Texas. But that is kind of what I'm doing. I'm still focusing on that. I'm still trying to find like some online work and stuff, something I can get to support myself so I can do some cool things. In the future, I do plan on it. I want to get a better setup for streaming. I want to set up so that I can do a face cam all the time if I want. I may not always have a face cam. I don't know. I haven't decided on that yet. But I do want to have the option. So what I plan to do is I plan to, in time, save up a little bit more money, and I'll update my rig by building a brand new one. That's what I want to do. I want to build a new one with a more up-to-date setup, like a 3080, you know, maybe a TI, and yeah, just have like a. I think I want to do a dual monitor setup with a side, like a tablet or something on the side, so I can check on chat and keep track of it. And yeah, I just kind of want to do that and have like a nice setup. I want to get one of those like standing desks, ones that you can stand up at and you can raise them or lower them depending on how, if you want to stand or if you want to sit. I want to get that. I want to get a number of things I have planned for the not so distant future, depending heavily on whether or not I can afford to do so. So I need to get another job that supports that. So that's to come eventually. I'm still trying to put in applications. I have applied to a few places that are a little bit ambitious, but I've also applied to some that are a little more understandable, bartending gigs and things like that. I've been applying for online work and stuff. I'm trying to get that. So hopefully that'll go through. Wish me luck, guys, because, yeah, I guess I need it at this point. So, yeah, that's kind of what's currently going on in my life. Not a whole lot going on, aside from that bit of drama that I mentioned before that's really shitty, awful stuff happening. But, you know, shit happens. And it's unfortunate when it does, but you just gotta power through and get through it. Hey, Goofy Champion, how's it going? Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. I appreciate you being here, dude. Also, thank you for the good luck. I appreciate that. Sentiments are certainly noted and appreciated. I'm going to actually return that car to storage. Maybe show off a car that I like. Let's see. Mechanic. Just open up and see what the heck I have. I have a ton of cars across various accounts at this point. I don't know. I hardly remember what the hell I have. Okay. There's just so many things. All of the things. All them things. Did I ever? I don't remember if I ever customized my Itali RSX. I do not remember. I do not recall. Oh, I did not, because I would never make it. Ugh. This thing looks terrible. Ugh. Ew. Ew. This looks awful. So, I'm just going to stand by this for a sec. So, yeah. Not a whole lot else going on in my life at the moment. I guess not necessarily that I want to talk about on stream. Well, in that regard, though, how are you guys? Are you doing all right? Is there anything going on? Any things you want to talk about? Anything you want to bring up? Any topics? Do you have any questions? I'm happy to answer questions if you have any about the topics we've discussed, or if there's anything else that you just want to talk about in general. In fact, if you wish, you can ask me anything. In fact, maybe I'll update the stream information real quick and go boom. Just chatting. AMA. Update information. Alright, now it says, ask me anything. So if anybody wants to, at any point, ask me about anything at all, if you want to pose a question, if you want to mention anything, by all means, propose it in chat. I pay pretty close attention to chat, so I will pay attention to if anything, any chat comes up. If you have any questions, I will answer them accordingly as best I can. I will get them in whatever order I can get them, I guess. I can't promise that they'll be in order specifically, but I'll do my best. My stream looks like it's super low quality. It looks really fuzzy. Does it look really fuzzy? Or is that just me? I haven't had enough drinks to have affected that. I've literally had 2 shots, so I'm fine. But the stream itself, 720p source, apply. Okay, no, it was just, okay, it just was on my end. It looks like it's coming through all right. Regardless, just gonna swap back over to my main character here. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, 'tis fairly clear on my end, says Goofy Champion. Perfect, as long as the stream isn't coming through like weird, you know, it doesn't look like glitchy or poor picture quality. I'm currently streaming on 720p, which is a safe, you know, standard definition, unfortunately, but still. Oh, Iron Eyes redeemed. Highlight my message. What's your favorite TTRPG system? My favorite system is, honestly, it's kind of lame to say this, but the 5th edition. Out of what I've played so far, 5th edition is my favorite to play. And, in my opinion, the easiest to DM. well, maybe not the easiest to DM. Probably the easiest to DM or game master is Monster of the Week because it has pretty loose rules. But my favorite TTRPG system to play is probably 5th edition, just because the rules are very simple but still pretty concise without having too many layers and too much information. Like, I love Pathfinder, I love 5th edition, I love them both. They're very similar. Pretty much the same thing for the most part, interchangeably. But the problem I have with Pathfinder is that Pathfinder has like 17 rules for every single thing that you have to take into consideration at any given moment. You say that you want to do this thing, so you got to take into consideration your BAB and whether or not you have a feat so that whether you get an attack of opportunity against you or not, size, categories, and whether or not you can do the thing. If you have a specific racial feature that reflects abilities, perhaps gives you a bonus or doesn't give you a bonus, and what kind of bonus and what situational bonus. It's like every single thing that you want to do has like 17 different rules applied to it. And you have to consider all those things and essentially check the boxes yes or no. 5th edition is just like, you want to do this thing, okay, do it. And that's it. It's so fucking streamlined. Pathfinder takes like an hour to get through half, like a couple of minutes of real world or of in-game stuff. Whereas 5th edition is just like, okay, so here's some RP. We're done with RP. Here's combat. Pretty streamlined. This is what you do in combat. It's so quick. It's so easy. It's effortless almost. So I do appreciate 5th edition. Additionally, 5th edition, it's just constantly getting material, and a lot of it's like open source. It has like all the rules in place so that you can easily create homebrew material. There's homebrew material you can look up online, and you can find tons and tons and tons of it easily, so easily. So it's just such an easy system. And it has a ton of options. It really does. It has a lot of third-party options. It has a lot of official source material. And right now, it's the system that drove Dungeons and Dragons into the light, essentially, and made it popular. It popularized it and made it, something where a lot of people come and do the thing, and it's pop culture now. And Gormator redeemed, stop. So I will not do anything for at least 10 seconds. Anything at all. Actually, I'm going to use this for an extended period of time. If you can give me just 1 sec, I'm literally out of water. And so I will not be able to hydrate, and I will only dihydrate, guys. You understand how crucial it is for me to get more water. So I'll be right back, and I'll use this moment as a stop just to get a break, to get some water, and I'll be back in just a few seconds. Sorry about that, guys. I am back. Alright. I just needed some water because I was literally all out of water. Anyway, I don't remember where I was before. So, regardless, I'm sure that the time has elapsed on the redemption of Stop. How's it going, Angormator? What's up, Josh? How you doing? On the stream. Everybody who's here, appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So, I mentioned early into the stream, like, I'm really enjoying this, but I have fresh new haircut. I let my hair grow out for way too long. But I had a mission. I wanted to grow it out long enough so that I could shave the sides and just have it long on top and pull it back and attempt a full-on Viking braid. Like, braid up over the top and then down the back. Kind of a Ragnar Lothbrok type of thing, you know? If you've ever seen Vikings, you'll get the reference. But, I've gotten there. I've gotten to the point where now I can actually pull it into a braid. My only issue is that I don't know how to braid hair, really. So I'm practicing braiding hair, and I'm going to be practicing some Viking-style braids. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There goes my car. Okay, well, nah. Thank you so much, and it looks pimp, not gonna lie. I appreciate that, Goofy Champion. I really like it, too. The only issue I have, so right now I have it pulled up and pulled into a hair tie, and it's in like a onion man bun thing, which I said years ago I would never ever do, and now it's actually super convenient and just easy, and I won't lie, like, I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. I don't really care. It's hair. Who gives a shit? So that's currently what I'm rocking, but I can do that. I can do the ponytail. I'm not really wild about wearing a ponytail. I don't like ponytails, but I don't mind doing that if I'm just around the house or whatever. But I want to do... There's a braid that I saw online. I don't know what the name of the braid is, but I want to practice it. It's essentially you take sections of hair, like 5, 6, 7 sections of hair, and you separate them. You pull them into pull a hair tie over them, like a rubber band hair tie thing, and then you do the next section, and then you split the first section into 2 and wrap it around the section behind it, and you just keep doing that and overlapping them on top of each other so that it makes this cool, like, singular braid over the top down the back, and then you do a full-on, like, repeat the process over and over and over again until you get a braid down the back. And it looks phenomenal, and I want to practice that. And it's like a full-on, over-the-top, middle, like, almost French braid, but just down the middle and over the top. It works a lot for, like, really short, like... Currently, my hair's cut into, like, a, what is it called? It's an undercut. It's kind of an undercut. So, that's currently what I'm doing, is I'm practicing that. But for the moment, I do legit have, like, the very Japanese pulled into a knot on top of my head kind of look. I don't know if it's actually Japanese or if it's just like a thing that I often see in Japanese medium, but you know, TVs and movies and stuff, but it's like a weird top knot onion thing. But this is the longest I've ever had my hair at any point, like any of my hair. It's long enough that I braided it. I had it braided, and it went down to, like, the base of my neck, down the back. And before that, the longest I'd ever had it is down to my nose. So, it's pretty fucking long for me right now. I'm somebody who's been for years so used to having, like, I had, like, mohawks, you know. I would rock mohawks that were, like, several inches long. And that was long for me for a long time. So, before that, it was just, like, crew cuts and shit, so, yeah. Either way, I'm super enjoying having the long top and, like, this undercut and playing with it and seeing what it does. I miss having colored hair, though. I miss colored hair, like having full-on, like, rainbow mohawks and all kinds of crazy shit. regardless, again, you guys are welcome to ask me anything if you have any questions. You don't have to highlight your message. You don't have to. That costs channel points. You don't have to feel the need to. If you do, it's a big thing that pops up, and I can actually see it. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to later, I have to go back in and change the commands so that when you do the stuff to highlight my message, it'll actually pop up on stream and show on the screen your message so that other people can see it as well, rather than just me reading out and seeing it in chat. I just haven't gone and done that. It's just something I need to update eventually, so... something I'll get around to, I promise. I promise. And yes, just again, to reiterate, I will be doing my regular Critical Role stream, my Critical Reflection watch party stream. I will be doing that on Monday. The only reason... I covered some of the reasons I didn't do it. I haven't been streaming lately. But one of the reasons I didn't do it this past Monday is because they didn't have an official episode of their current campaign. It was a one-shot hosted by Sam Riegel as the Dungeon Master. So because of that, I decided it'd be a good time to take off, to take a week break, and to not stream for a little bit. So I took a little mini break for a week and just decided not to stream, take a little time off, you know, get my head clear and think about things, and I think it paid off because I'm here. I'm actually feeling pretty good, and right now, you know, we have a bunch of people here right now. You guys are super supportive, and you're interacting, and I appreciate that, and this is all going quite well, so I think it was good that I took a little bit of a break, so thank you guys I hope that you're understanding, you know, I hope that you're not too upset about me having taken a break.
I'll get back to it then.
Yeah, we'll call in just a random car. I'm gonna go to a garage. But yeah, if you guys have anything that you want to say, any questions you have for me, I am happy to answer anything you have. If you have anything about any of the topics we've covered before earlier in the stream, you're welcome to bring up questions, even if it's, I mean, it's later, but that's fine. I am happy to answer questions if you have those. Or if you just have anything to weigh in, if you have any thoughts or feelings on any of the topics, yeah, anything at all. Feel free to pose it in whatever form you've deemed necessary. Is it? Oh, I ran by it. I am going to go to one of my garages. Thank you again, by the way, for those drinks earlier. I haven't had any rum or any tequila in a while, so it's kind of refreshing. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There it goes. That's what I get for looking at chat for half a second. Never text and drive, guys. Never text and drive. That was just me sucking. Oops. Yeah, again, don't text and drive. Alright, no more looking at my phone for a moment. I'm gonna get to... Where am I going? I never actually set a destination. I was just looking at chat. And, kind of looking back through, seeing if I missed anything. That's not really helpful. Let's go over here. Never actually set a destination, so... Also, this car is really quick, but it doesn't necessarily handle all that well. It's a lot of understeer. Ah. I don't want to buzz it. It's my garage. I want to go in it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. I think I was mentioning something earlier. The one thing I don't like about this haircut, I'm just going to point it out, is that because of the shape of my head, how it's shaped, I have these little spots kind of on the sides where the hair isn't quite as long as the middle, and so I can't pull it all the way back into the knot or the ponytail or whatever. So I often get these little strands, these few strands of hair that just linger out, outside of the ponytail or top knot or braid. Well, not really the braid. The braid kind of pulls them all together. But regardless, you get the point. I feel weird about having... Oh, no, that's a different car. That's why. Oh, I don't want to go in here. I want to go across the street. Across the street and go look at my other garage. Garages. So, yeah. I'm not super wild about that. I don't really know. I ended up going and buying some hair clips, some like basic hairpins, so that I can try and well, they're kind of multi-purpose. I mean, number one, they help hold hair in place, and number two, if I ever need to, get into my house or something, see if I'm actually a rogue or not. Who knows? Maybe I am a rogue. I've been thinking for all these years that I'm a multi-class bard fighter. Maybe I'm actually a rogue. Hey, it's my 2 Bravado Gauntlet classics. One of these is going to be Plum Crazy Purple, and the other one is going to be like a maroon red, like a wine red. Wine red with matte black hood, with the shaker hood, and kind of a... One I'm going to base essentially because they're essentially like Challenger based cars. Oh, damn. Iron Eyes, subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate the subscription. You didn't have to do that. Holy shit. That's super awesome. Speaking of which, any subscriptions that are made are very supportive. I'm currently in between jobs, so things like that go a long way for me. I'm a really small streamer, so anything that happens in that department means a lot to me. Has a pretty hefty impact, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the subscription. It was really kind of you and very unexpected. So, seriously, thank you. Sorry, that took my train of thought way off course. What was I fucking saying? Goofy Champion says, Def part bard, but I haven't seen your skills to see the fighter yet. Perhaps rogue would be sweet. Here's when I consider what class I am, because that's kind of a classic thing among people who are interested in like D&D and similar TTRPGs. Is you always think like, what class would I be? What class would I be? You take into consideration all the different things. I'm very charismatic. Beyond streaming, even I'm very charismatic in a number of different ways. I love to talk. I love to just be around other people, and I know people relatively well. So I'm very communicative. I have a lot of practice with sociology and with socializing, and yeah. So I'm just very used to that. So bard, I feel, is definitely it. I'm not necessarily a performer in the way a bard may be with like music, music and stuff. But not all bards are musical bards. That's a very common misconception. A bard does not necessarily infer that someone is skilled with a musical instrument, or that they're a singer, or whatever. So I definitely feel that I'm a bard in that regard. I'm not saying that I'm an amazing bard, but I'm a bard. The other side, fighter, I've always been very scrappy. I'm very goofy, very easy to get along with, but I'm also somebody that is, I have a very short fuse, and my temperament, at least when I'm angry, I'm explosive. And I'm not quite a barbarian. I'm not quite barbarian territory because I feel that I'm still at least still like somewhat conscious of what I'm doing, and I feel that I don't just rage out and break things all the time or whatever, but I do get ragey and angry. But I feel that that's more of a just a personality complex than it is a defining feature. So I think of myself as a fighter. Um, Additionally, I'm a lot stronger than people usually take me for. I actually, I'm not necessarily attempting to brag or anything, but I mean, I have several, numerous points throughout my life that I've done things that a small person of my size, 5'6", 160 odd pounds, that I've done some pretty impressive things for my size, like carrying. I carried two people on my back while playing football in a field, and I just ran with them on my back. One was upwards of 250, 300. He was around 300 pounds at the time. The other one was about my size. So there's that. I picked up and threw another person that was like 350 pounds. Like, I'm not super strong. I'm not the strongest person out there by any means, but I'm stronger than people would actually believe I am for such a small person. That said, I'm also just a tender little goofy, cuddly teddy bear of a human being, so I'm not here to hurt people. I do have my thing on, don't I? I do not. There we go. There we are. Awesome. I just wanted to customize another car because this thing looks terrible because I didn't customize it. I got it for free this way from the Podium. It's a Podium vehicle. So, yeah, I don't feel that I'm... I mean, I considered Warlock just because I have a lot of influence on... Or not influence on, but I'm influenced a lot by Norse paganism. So I thought, like, Norse gods and looking up Tyr and looking up to Tyr and various other Norse gods in a very idolistic way, and I don't know. I'm not quite a pagan though. I'm not religious. I'm atheist, or not atheist. Excuse me, agnostic. I'm an agnostic person, so I guess it doesn't really. I don't want to call myself necessarily a warlock. So I wouldn't be. I don't think I'd be a good warlock necessarily. I am rogue-like in that I'm very dexterous and very flexible and lean for the most part. I've always been very acrobatic, but I'm not necessarily. I wouldn't say that I'm a rogue. I'm not necessarily skilled with, breaking and entering or whatever.
A whole lot more horses under there now.
That's not a talent that I necessarily possess. I'm fine with the exhaust where it is. Oh, damn. Nope. Oh, there's like no options for these either. Ew. So yeah, I just don't think that I'm a rogue in that regard. I don't think that that's a fitting one. Mostly that was just a joke, just kind of goofing off. Being like, I don't know, maybe I am a rogue. Let's go aluminum. I kind of like the aluminum look. Bare aluminum. Slam it to the ground and turbo. I do not like those orange wheels at all. Not at all. No. I think I'm gonna make those either chrome or black. I think that's what I'll do. So yeah. What do you guys think? What do you think you would be. What would you be if you had to think of a class for yourself? If you had to give yourself what class you were, what do you think you would be? Headlights. Goofy Champion says, in that regard, maybe I'm more rogue than I thought. Maybe? I mean, dexterity and acrobatics and things are often attributes that rogues have, and that's definitely a defining class feature. So you could take that into consideration. But others have it too. I mean, there's monks, there's bards, there's others that are perfectly flexible. I've seen fighters that have very, dex-based fighters. So it's not entirely, wrong to think, well, maybe fighter. The orange is starting to grow on me. It really is. I hated it with the blue. I'm not a fan of, like, orange and blue. Probably why I'm not a Broncos fan. But, I mean, the orange is starting to actually kind of grow on me a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, what do you guys think in chat? My viewers, what do you guys think you would be if you were a Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder class or otherwise? And you don't have to give any specific examples. For instance, like, oh yeah, well there was this one time where I fucked a dragon. Like, no, you don't have to tell us about any dragons you fucked. If you have, hey, bravo, that makes one of us. But you don't have to feel the need to share any possibly sensitive information. Or well, I feel that I'm a blood hunter, specifically the Order of the Lycanthrope, because I'm actually a werewolf and I go on benders under the full moon and attack people and blah blah blah. Like, no, you don't have to tell us that information if you don't want to. Those wheels look kind of sick on this. I kind of like that. I don't know. I kind of dig it. I've put these on so many cars, though. I don't want to put them on another car. I kind of want to do black wheels, though. The orange was starting to grow on me, and now I'm once again questioning. Like, I don't know. Goofy Champion says, I'd want to say I'd be Bard/Rogue and maybe one more, but I'm not sure just yet. Fair enough, fair enough. A lot of people don't really know. I've given it a lot of thought, and I mean, maybe I'm just limiting myself too much. Maybe I'm more than I thought. Maybe I'm not any of the above. Maybe I'm actually a wizard. I don't fucking know. I don't think I'm smart enough to be a wizard. I think I'm smart. I think I have a lot of common sense. Honestly, I think I'm more wise than I am intelligent. I think I'm plenty intelligent, but I think I'm plenty intelligent in regard to a wide scope of people, at least what I'm used to. Having lived where I do, it's not really a compliment to myself to say that I'm intelligent. In comparison to some of the people around me. It's just like, eh. It's low hanging fruit. So I think I have a lot of common sense. I'm wise for my age, but I don't think I'm vastly intelligent. Like I'm some sort of super smart person. I'm not. I know I'm not. I mean, who would put orange wheels on a supercar? What kind of wise person would do such a thing? By the way, I didn't put these orange wheels on. They just came orange when I got it. For whatever reason. I don't know what Saline S7 wheels look like. Iron Eye says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm an NPC, lol. Maybe I could handle a dire rat. I don't know about that. I think you're a pretty charismatic person. I think you're very personable. I think you're relatively strong. I've never actually seen how strong, like physically strong, you are, but you come across as a pretty well, like, you could handle yourself just fine. Uh, hmm. I don't even know what color this is. It's orange, obviously, but what color of orange? Is it like bright orange? Hmm. Anyway, no, I don't know specifically. It's hard for me to judge other people's classes. Um, to give an example, it's hard for me to judge other people's classes because I look at my engineer friends and I immediately want to tell them, "Oh yeah, you'd be an artificer." It's like, well, fucking, of course. Look at what they went to school for, and that's it. Like, yeah, of course, that's what I'm gonna fucking think. Cursory glance. It's like, yeah, you're an artificer because you're an engineer, sure. But not always the case. You know, it varies from person to person. I don't know what I want to do for the wheels, guys. I don't know. Should have 7-spoke wheels because it is a Saleen S7. I'm actually going to pull up on my computer pictures of a Saleen S7 just so I can have it. So I can look at it and be like, that's what that car looks like. A lot of them have 5-spoke wheels. I see 5s and 6s. Sort of like these. Kind of. A lot of chrome wheels. A lot of chrome wheels. I don't know if I want to go with a stock looking build though. I mean, I got that big fucking spoiler on the back, which honestly, I'm not even wild about that big fucking spoiler. I think I would rather have like a super low spoiler on this. I think I would rather have like a pretty low profile look to this car personally. But I see one with 7. I'm gonna go with 7 spokes. I'm gonna find some wheels that have 7 spokes, and I'm gonna like it. Or else. Or else what? Fuck if I know. That's 6. That's 8. Oh, I need some. It's 5. Nope. Oh, sport. That's what I wanted to be in. I didn't want to be in SUV. 5s and 6s. I want 7-spoke chrome wheels. Duper 7. It's literally 7. It's in the name 7. This is, I mean, not really spokes, but it's not like solid spokes, like wire spokes. Kind of the same with this. I think the Duper 7s are the only ones that are 7-spoke. I can't get chrome. I cannot achieve chrome in these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7! Of course those would be 7. Of fucking course those would be 7.
You got great taste.
I could do all black wheels. Those look kind of slick. Or I could do alloy. Keep it simple. I wish I could do chrome, but I can't do chrome with these. I could make them blue for no reason at all. I don't know. I guess it was just orange. It's regular orange. looks fucking weird now that I'm looking at like chrome wheels and all that shit. Just looks a little funky on there. Red's same deal. Looks weird. Frost white, I could make them frost white. Maybe. So yeah, it's sometimes hard to decipher what class you would want to be or how you view yourself. Regardless. Oh, man, I don't know. I kind of want to do just maybe black them out. Blacked out wheels. Looks kind of sick. Looks kind of sick on there. I'll go black. Yeah, we'll do black. They don't really do that with salines. I don't think they do tire prints. Give me a sec. Take another drink, baby. Hydrate or dihydrate. Hydrate or dihydrate. Well, yeah, I guess they do tire prints if it's... Okay, yeah, it just seems like it's like the only time they do tire prints for these cars would be if it's something that's like a race car. So they don't really do this. Although it does have the print on the... I kind of want to do it. Mostly because it has the Pisswasser on the visor. The sunscreen thing. It also has the bolted look around the windows and stuff. So this is definitely set up. This is like a race car variant. It's specifically set up with some options that make it. Iron Eye says randomize a D&D character and make a character concept. Are you proposing that we do that, or that, or what is that? Is that a statement? Is that a... Oh, I mean, possibly. That's actually something I would like to do in future streams. I'd like to do some more of these just chatting streams where we can sit and actually, like, I'll have character sheet stuff up on my screen, and we can just literally sit and build characters. It's actually something I would really like to do. We've done that once. We did that in a stream, and I used it for a one-shot. And it worked out pretty well, actually. It was an amazing one-shot. It was super funny. We streamed it. Had a lot of fun. I'm going to go with the Atomic. I don't mind. Yeah. That's a pretty clean build. It's clean, but it does have the race car options that you can't remove. Like, it has the front tow hook. You can see the red tow hook. It has the tack-on, like, bolt-on fenders there, the racing-style attachment fenders, like deflectors. Has, I mean, it has this whole, like, deck lid, because normally the Saleen S7 has a full open window, and it has this, like, racing-style deck lid ventilation. So it definitely is that, and like the bolted like carbon fiber or plastic, whatever it is, the lightweight material bolt-on around the windows. All of this is definitely a racing spec, and it's nothing you can change. It's an old car, so you can't like change those options out. So it definitely seems like a racing variant. So it doesn't hurt to have like the racing look, but toned down. It has the massive wings, so it's not like a stock style wing. It has a lot of racing features, so you might as well just lean into it a little bit, but not go over the top. I'm not super big about race cars. So, yeah. That's where we'll leave this car. She's a little squirrely. Wow. Very squirrely. So I'm realizing I've never driven this car before. Any little bump you go over, she doesn't want to control. So like that right there, if you were to move it any which direction at all using the thumbstick, she gets loose, like super all over the road, just everywhere. Very squirrely handling. Yeah, quite loose. I actually don't even remember. 2, I think. It was 2. Very squirrely car. I've never actually driven one of these at all. I have no idea. Very squirrely car, though. Relatively quick. I mean, it's a supercar, so it's going to be pretty fast. It's the fastest speed category vehicle in the game for the most part. Overall, anyway. So it's to be expected that it would be quick. It's just I did not expect it to be so damn squirrely. Oh man, this is also silver. Well, this is like platinum. That's right. This has got the black steel with the ice white pearlescent, so it makes it platinum with the blacked out carbon fiber rims. This one's just blacked out wheels, and yeah. So they're different enough. They're different enough. I'm not too worried. But yeah, that one's also platinum if I remember right. I think this one was made platinum and carbon fiber. Maybe this is just black steel. This might just be black steel. So yeah, either way, yeah, I don't think for this stream I'll be breaking out the character creation, at least not heavy stuff. I mean, we could talk about that if you want to steer in that direction. Recently, I've been working on a number of characters. I actually have been, let's see, I'm going to delete this. I don't need this anymore. This is a shopping list. Get rid of that off of my notes. Thank you. I'm actually currently writing, not really writing, I'm just staging concepts for a possible campaign hook so that I could do a campaign in the possible near future, maybe, who knows? So I have this whole concept that I've been writing down. I don't have anything open enough that I want to talk about necessarily. I guess it's not a solid enough concept, but I do have some ideas. I still gotta modify that car over there. The black and pink one. But I have been working on some other characters. Literally last night I came up with a character concept for a dude who's like a silver fox, like a older guy. I haven't decided what direction I want to take him, like what race I want him to be or anything. But older dude who's fit and a little bit, he's very stoic, very regal presence, dresses very finely, a lot of real world experience, older man with silver on the sides of his head, you know, black and what is it, black and silver, salt and pepper, that's what it is, salt and pepper hair, so black on top with like sides that are white, you know, going silvery white. But I want a guy that's like, you know, he looks like an older man, but at the same time, he looks kind of fearsome and intimidating. He's the type of dude that, like, he's an old man, but he's fit as hell, and he's still, like, super fucking, like, he's buff for an old guy, and he just has this presence, this whole, like, you get close to them, and they start talking to you, and they look at you with those, like, really judgmental, like, eyes that see right through you, and it's just like, oh, man, I don't want to say the wrong thing and disrespect myself in front of this person, you know. I'd hate myself forever if I were to, you know, be seen as, you know, less of or lesser than by this person. That kind of figure. But I've also been working on a bunch of other characters. I worked on. I mentioned recently to a friend that I was working on a cute little like a bat folk that's like I might have said this on social media too, but they're like a cute little like bat person that's like 3.5 feet tall and super cute. And they have I don't know if you've ever heard Horsey, the Pokemon, but kind of a voice like that I've been practicing, kind of a wavering, shaky, high pitched like voice. Definitely not Terry Crews. Definitely not Terry Crews. Uh, I'm going more like Joe Manganiello or Travis Willingham or not even George Clooney. George Clooney's still pretty thin, but definitely big, tall, broad-shouldered guy with who's just very stoic and like somebody of very high esteem, dresses very finely, but is very just like very serious, not jokey. Whereas Terry Crews is very goofy. Um, yeah, the bat character I mentioned to you, Goofy Champion. I did mention to you. So a little bat character, super cute, squirrely, little like they're a bard. They want to be supportive and they want to be helpful, and they're doing the best they can, but they're not really much of an adventurer. Kind of their whole plot hook and why they would be where they are is their background is that they got accepted into the Strix Academy, the Strixhaven Academy, so that they're there for magical studies. To be officially a bard, they were accepted into this college. However, they don't know how to get there, and they're lost. And so the whole thing is that they're working with a party, that they'll be working with a party and just being like, I don't know where to go. Like, just flat out, like, asking people along the way, do you know where this is? And, like, handing them the ticket and being like, I don't know where this is. But they're just cute and loving and caring, and they're soft and cuddly, and there's like a little floofy little bat thing, and they're like 3.5 feet tall, and their way of doing bardic inspiration is they do like a cute little happy dance. It's kind of very like anime chibi style, like that's kind of how I imagine this character. And they're just super cute and wholesome, and they don't want to hurt people if they don't have to, but they do have some damaging spells and stuff. And like, probably my favorite thing I've imagined them is my favorite way that I've imagined them is I can imagine them not having any experience with a weapon and picking up a dagger at some point. They're just holding a knife, and you have a scene where there's a couple of NPCs or maybe characters, the player characters. They're all talking. The party's talking, and then in the background, the DM would describe like this little bat thing just entering the scene and kind of like quickly walking through, and they all just turn and be like, hey, what are you holding? Like, what is that? And it kind of like the meme, like the video, a knife, and just keeps running around with a knife held between their wings because they don't really have hands. They have like little claws on their wings. So they're just holding a knife and running with it because they don't really know what they're doing. They're naive and goofy. And so it's just like that video, like, no! That's the best thing I can imagine. Like, that's kind of the summation. Like, just naive, cute. They don't understand. They're just trying to be helpful and failing miserably, but doing their best. So that's a recent one. Recent build. And another one that I've brought up, Iron Eyes actually knows this one because we almost did a campaign together online, like a big open world thing, where I was going to play this character. She's another bat person, but she's a skinwalker, and it's based in Pathfinder Skinwalker. But I want to port it to 5th edition, and I want it to be a Phoenix sorcerer, and I want them to be part of, basically they were orphaned, and they were abused because they were a weird creature, this bat person shapeshifter creature. So they were abused by the other kids, the other orphans that didn't understand. They thought they were a monster and kind of scared and intimidated. And there's, you know how it is. I guess kids are very mean to each other. And so they decided that they were going to run away because they heard of a traveling carnival. So they joined the carnival. Now they're a carny. They're very dexterous and acrobatic, and now they do all kinds of crazy performances, tightrope walker, acrobat, you know. I need a little more water. Hydrate before I dihydrate. So yeah, I just really love the idea, and they have the feat now because of the new Witchlight, um, the new Witchlight book for 5th edition. That's very Fae driven. They have that, and I have a new background that's the Witchlight or Witchlight hand or Witch Carnival hand, whatever it is. You're basically a carnival hand. So you are a performer or somebody who helps set up, or you're just somebody that's like just associated with the carnival somehow. But essentially they're part of a traveling carnival. And I don't know how they'll fit into the whatever campaign they get into, but I definitely want to play them. I think they'll be a super fun, interesting character. Very charismatic sorcerer, you know, so very high charisma, talkative, goofy. He could be a good character. Iron Eyes says, what kind of character would you use in an evil campaign? I've given this a lot of thought. So I have a few ideas. Number one, if we were to be like monstrous humanoids, things like that, so there's always the thought, like, what if I were an Illithid? Illithids are really cool. I could imagine being an Illithid that's maybe like an Illithid gunslinger, so they're like an Illithid cowboy or something that, you know, some sort of like desperado, you know, tentacle-faced creature. I thought that'd be kind of cool and interesting, but not quite monstrous enough. I think I could pull off just doing that with, you know, pulling that with a DM and not doing some sort of special case situation. But I think if I were to do like an evil, like monster campaign, if we were to do monsters, like monstrous creatures, rather than just monstrous humanoids, do actual like monsters and stuff, I think I would want to be. I gave it some thought a while ago. I wanted to be. Oh man, what was it? It was. I think it was. I wanted to be a. Not a gnoll. Oh man. Now I'm forgetting. I know the Illithid would be a good one. I have a few ideas for regular evil characters, though. I do. I have one that's like a blood scoundrel, so like a very strong, roguey type, like kind of an assassin-style barbarian. They get a rage feature, but it's not quite a strength rage. It's weird. It's like a dex rage. It's really bizarre. But they're an assassin, very dark style character. I've got another one who's she's a genasi that wants to mix her air genasi line with fire genasi because she sees fire genasi as ambitious and powerful, and she sees the power of fire, and so she fuses herself. Her goal is to fuse herself with the fire genasi bloodline to make herself a mix between air and fire, kind of the combo. You need air for fire. And, oh, Goofy Champion says, I gotta go to snooze, so night-night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here on the stream. I appreciate that. Have a good night. I'll, talk to you later for sure. Thank you again. But, yeah, she's very ambitious. She wants to do a lot of very terrible things. And she's the type that, given the situation, I've given this some thought, that if she was not in a full evil campaign, like just a bunch of people that are evil, if she was with good people, there's a very high chance that in order to get the things that she wants, she'd be very willing to just stab the people in the back and either use them to get to places, or if they go down and she sees them as like, oh, this is the cleric that's in my way because they are keeping a close eye on me and everything else and won't let me get the things that I want, there's a chance that she might want to take advantage of that situation and be like, oh, you're one death saving throw away from death? Well, unfortunately, oops, I slipped, you know. I don't really want to be that player. I don't, but I mean, when you're playing an evil character, that's something that could happen. I had this all thought out. I can't remember the character specifically. Let me look. I had a list of evil characters, specifically evil. Let me look real quick. I have played one that was a backstabber. It was Gepril, the arcane trickster gnome. He was a Svirfneblin, and he pretended to be a pious, like, cleric type character, and then ended up turning on people, and he killed off, or not really killed off, but sabotaged a bunch of competing NPCs in this tournament thing, this game show style thing, and basically sabotaged them and made them get really fucked up and like hurt them a lot in order to get himself ahead. He ended up taking second place in that, which netted me an item. It was a one shot. Netted me an item moving ahead for a future campaign. So that was fun. Oh man, where is it? I had a whole. Yeah, I had a whole evil thing. I don't actually have it. I would not mind playing like a Sheogorath style character though. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I have a huge fascination with Sheogorath. Sheogorath is like one of my favorite characters. He's my favorite character in all of Elder Scrolls for sure. But he's one of my favorite characters in like a lot of things, a lot of pretenses. Iron Eyes says, I've been interested in playing Murdoch or Borgo the Fist. Borgo was amazing. Big, powerful, Minotaur, badass. And Murdoch was a good villain. I don't think he would have been as good a villain if he hadn't scored the kill on, if he hadn't gotten the kill on, Sushi. If he hadn't killed her, I don't think he would have had as much weight as he did. Because he was still pretty new. He hadn't done anything terribly heinous to us beyond that. He was just kind of pesky. But then he did that, and all of a sudden it was personal, and we all hated him immensely. So, yeah. He suddenly became a very prime target for us. We didn't like him anymore, and he made for a pretty decent villain at that point. Also, real quick, if you cannot tell, this is an improper Mustang. So this is based off of the Fox body Mustang, like an early 2000s Mustang. Specifically, the style of body is based off of I believe the Mustang. It's not the Saline Mustang, but the Cobra. I believe it was the Shelby Mustang SVT. I think 2004, I want to say. The body style, at least. However, I decided to use, as close as I could get it, you can see the green on there. It's the closest I could get to the Ford Mystachrome, because I've seen some Mystachrome Mustangs over the years, like Mustang GTs primarily. But I wanted to do a Mystachrome Mustang so badly, and I decided it would be a good idea to finally take a shot at it. So I made a Mystachrome Mustang. And, yeah, big fan. That was a great quest. Anything involving the Daedra, I think it's always fun. It's always a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of the Daedra. I loved Sheogorath more than any other character. I want to do a character, her name is Sheogora. I want to make a non-canonical daughter of Sheogorath, whose patron deity, she's a warlock, her patron deity is Sheogorath, her father. And she prides herself on her likeness to her father, and wants to essentially take over the mantle for him when he passes. But she might be a little bit ambitious about it, even going as far as being like, well, you know, if she has to see her father into an untimely grave to take the spot, she may be willing to do that. Not necessarily evil, but like chaotic neutral, and just like, you know, going with the flow, helping things along a little bit. I think she could be a really interesting character, and I think I would have a lot of fun with that. I think a cool quest line would be to include a similar object to the Wabbajack into the campaign, because I've seen some ports into 5e, I think. I don't know about Pathfinder, but 5th edition, I've seen some ports of the Wabbajack in Dungeons and Dragons, and they're pretty cool. It's basically like a really interesting polymorph, like a super chaotic roll a d100, see what you get type of polymorph thing. I think that'd be really fucking awesome. But just make her a super chaotic, warlocky character that's just... I want her to be half, though. Like, half Daedra, so she's got her father's likeness, and then the other half of her is, like, I don't know, something else. Just some other humanoid, maybe tiefling, or, I don't know what's happening, what's blowing up behind me, but I'm going to try and avoid all of that nonsense. Oh no, buddy! But maybe, I like the idea of, like, tiefling. Like, maybe, kind of leaning into Sheogorath, how he was half and half. His outfit was always, like, half magenta, you know, it was like a magenta color with, like, red accessories and maybe some, like, gold trim. And then the other side was, like, dark purples and blacks and greens. I want to lean into that and have, like, one side of her outfit be very, like, prim and proper and beautiful, like the magentas and the golds and the reds. And the other half will be, like, twisted and just maniacal with, like, weird edges and flares that look almost demonic and otherworldly. And just that rich, deep, crushed velvet, purple, violet color with, like, a little bit of black and some greens, like some, like, almost like aged copper, like that oxidized copper green to it, maybe. I think that could look really fucking cool. And then the half that's like the twisted dark, have that be the Daedra half, where she has the, like, Daedra eyes, so the black sclera, or maybe it's black, maybe it's not black, maybe it's white, but either way, like the golden yellow eyes slotted, almost look reptilian-like. The Daedra, oops! The yellow demonic eyes of the Daedra, with the, yeah, just some Daedric features-ish, you know? And then maybe the other half give her, like, only one horn on her forehead on the other side, and, like, some tiefling-esque features, or humanoid, or elven, or whatever I choose. I don't know. Something of that nature, that's what I'm thinking. I think she could be a really fun character. Let's see. Do you know much about the Elder Scrolls TTRPG? I know it exists, but I've never played it. I know that there's a lot of TTRPGs out there that I want to play. There's one for Fallout I want to play. There's one for Destiny that I want to play. Elder Scrolls could be fun. I mean, this could even be ported into that and just be a character in that universe. But I don't know much about the actual official game itself. I know a lot about the lore and about the games themselves, but not specifically about the TTRPG. Is this like an official thing, or is this, I actually don't know if it's an official TTRPG or if it's an unofficial thing, like somebody made it, like a third-party publisher type of thing. I don't know that much about it. I've heard of it. I know I've heard of it, but I don't know much more than that. I don't know if you have much more information about it, or if this was seeking information about it. Unfortunately, I know a lot more about 5th edition than I do anything else TTRPG related. Tight. Third party unofficial. Okay, yeah. I didn't even know that, so I guess I don't know that much about it. I know of its existence. I know that it's a thing, but I don't know anybody who's specifically played it, or I don't think. At least I couldn't name anybody. Oh man, I was hoping to get some tire spin on it. Excuse you?
Tell me more about the coffee enema.
You ran into my car.
This is a joke.
Deal with it. Alright. Let's see. But to be honest, I'd probably just run it 3.5 as reskin, or an reskin, as reskin. But I'm a stubborn 3.5 era guy. I know that you're very, very involved with, and you know more about the 3.5 version than anything else. It's kind of your go-to. Obviously, that's your favorite. I do know that about you. Mine, I prefer to go towards 5th edition, even though I was brought up, my first TTRPG was Pathfinder, and that's kind of what I was originally introduced to. And then I went 3.5, and then I went 5th edition. I didn't even get into 5th edition until well later, but that's kind of my go-to. All of that said, 3.5 is a wonderful addition. It's just, it suffers, in my opinion, it suffers in the same ways that Pathfinder does, and that it has like 17 different rules for every single thing that you want to do. 3.5 and Pathfinder are, for the most part, the same thing. A few differences here and there that set them apart, and a few things that Pathfinder couldn't do due to copyrighted material with Wizards of the Coast. So I do know that much. But 3.5 edition is actually really wonderful. I have played it. I had a lot of fun with it. Very short amount of time with just straight 3.5 as opposed to Pathfinder, though. I played a lot of Pathfinder and a lot of 5th edition. Woo! I don't like racing liveries on cars, especially if they're not set up as race cars. I don't think that might not be set up as a race car. It kind of looks like it could be, but probably not. Most people that put racing liveries on cars don't set them up in this game as race cars. They just put a racing livery on a normal car. Which looks tacky as fuck, by the way, in my opinion. Iron Eyes. I like the flexibility and customization. Yeah, it's very flexible. It's got a lot going on. That's one thing. One thing about it, but it's definitely just very complex. There's a lot of complication, and like I said, just a ton of rules for every little thing. So that's kind of my one really big gripe about it. Another one being, of course, that there's just massive modifiers for everything. So like rolling a natural, a 10 in stealth for some characters ends up being like a 37 or some crazy fucking number. I have a fucking rogue right now with a plus 25 or plus 20 something acrobatics, so it gets astronomical. Anime numbers. Anyway, streaming. Yeah, I gotta go to bed though. Nighty night. Happy streaming. Yeah. It's cool. Thank you so much for being in the stream, though. I certainly appreciate it. I definitely have had a lot of fun with everybody who's tuned in. I appreciate you guys. I understand it's getting late, so it's time for people to start going to bed. I'm actually going to be ending the stream here momentarily, probably. We're sitting at 2 hours and 43 minutes. This stream was intended to be maybe an hour long, but I just got on a tangent and decided to keep talking. So, sorry about that, guys. I hope I have kept you entertained, though. I hope that I'm not boring, at the very least. But I certainly do appreciate everybody being here, and for the lurks and the chats and all of the things that you guys are providing. I love you guys very, very much. So I love and appreciate all of the outpouring adoration and support. Just everything you guys are giving me. It's very, very wonderful, and I certainly, I do notice it, and I do appreciate it. So I'll probably be ending the stream here very soon. On that note, thank you again to everybody who did tune in. Iron Eyes, you have a wonderful night. Thank you again. I hope that I was not a boring individual. Hope that I kept you entertained, and thank you very much for for participating in the chat and being involved in the stream. Beep, beep. I'm gonna probably go return this car to my, actually, no, I don't need to. I'm gonna go to where I normally default now. My default has become the, my typical default now is the, Carmi, whatever it's called. I can't remember the actual name of it right now. Whoops. My bad. So, I usually default down here. I mean, honestly, it's great because it comes with its own mod shop, so you can modify vehicles, and you don't have to pay for the mod service, like to pay for the upgrade garage and everything. You just get it. There we go. And I like to check on the vehicles whenever there's a new car up on the truck, on the prize truck, the prize ride. Which I don't remember what the challenges are, actually, for this week. I'm going to check on that because I do want to win this car. They finally put the Fister, whatever it's called, Comet S2 up there. They haven't had that one yet. I think it's the only one that they haven't put up there until now. There it is. LS Carmi. Yeah, it is the LS Carmi. Okay, so I was correct. Prize Ride Challenge. Place top 1 for 3 days in a row. Place top... So, take first place in a Pursuit Series race for 3 days in a row. It is technically Sunday, so I gotta get on top of this, and I will probably do that... Probably, actually... It's actually Saturday, so it's not Sunday yet. I could do that tonight, I could do another one tomorrow, and I could do one, Monday. Probably. Maybe later I'll do that, so that it'll count as Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's probably what I'll end up doing, because I do want that. I don't want to have to pay for it. That car, if I'm not mistaken, is upwards of 1.5 mil? I think it's like 1.7 or 8. Wrong. Travel and transport. It is in Legendary? Maybe? Comet S2 Cabrio is 1.79. Comet S2. There's the Growler. Is this the S2? This is the S2. Yeah, so I could buy it now for 1.87 mil. And no, not if I can get the damn thing right here for free. Absolutely not. So yeah, we're gonna do that at some point. I'm not gonna do that on stream. I'm probably gonna do that at some point later tonight or tomorrow. Okay, deposit some money because I don't need that in my pocket. The 16,000. Ta-da! Done. So yeah, another update. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. What I will be doing is I will be doing some streams of some early access games that I have. Actually, I'm gonna pull up some of those. I'm gonna actually mention them here. So anybody who's tuned in for this long or watching it in the VOD later, anything, you will be aware of what I'm gonna be playing in the near future through through Steam at least. I gained some early access to a handful of games, two of which I've been enjoying. I actually thoroughly enjoyed recently playing. One is Polygon. I played that on stream back to back with Promod. What's the latest follower? Anyway, sorry, I was looking at something I didn't understand. So I was playing back-to-back some Promod and some Polygon. I got each of them through early access, and I mean they're both good in their own right. They're not bad, but I'm not really a Promod kind of player. It's very so Promod is extremely fast-paced, small arena-style shooter with the gimmick of this closing space that is this polygonal, fractal, weird digitized computer graphic thing the map is. And as you capture a point, the map closes in, and the fractals turn this, weird black, shade cell type of color thing. And it's interesting. It's not bad. I'm not saying anything bad about it. That's all really cool and interesting. That's one of the things I really thoroughly enjoyed about it. I thought it was a really cool design choice. However, it's not my style of play because it's extremely Call of Duty meets Counter-Strike in its style and its execution. Very Valorant-esque, but without doesn't really have super power, super abilities like that. You know, because the Valorant characters all have these weird super abilities and throwing bomb things that do these weird smoke screen poison effects and stuff, and very hero shooter characters stuff. Promod is less hero shooter and more just first person shooter in that style, somewhere between Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and Valorant, somewhere in that mix. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's pretty decent. It's just not my style, so it's not something I'll be playing. At least not playing a lot of. Polygon was a lot of fun. It's very niche as well. It's a first-person shooter where you play a very polygonal soldier. It's just polygonal shapes and just very simplistic, but very big open maps, TDM style. It seemed I don't know if there were other game modes, probably. But it's early access, so probably not, actually. Anyway, big, open, first-person shooter with a wide array of guns, but the problem is that you start with one gun at the beginning. It is the M16, and the M16 is poo-poo. It's okay. It's actually not a bad gun, but in comparison to the rest of the guns, it's poo-poo. If you play it for a while, you can, or if you spend money on the game, you can pay to win, because you can then unlock guns like the AK-47 or the SCAR or the M24 or various other guns, and they're pretty much all significantly better than the M16 by leaps and bounds and miles. It's just awful. The comparison between the two is just stark. So, yeah. It's a pretty fun game. I want to play more of it and get better at it, but at the same time, the game itself is very early access in a number of ways, and I'm sure that there's other things I could encounter that may not be favorable, but it's early access, so it is what it is. Some other games that I've gotten some early access to, though. Let's see. There is... where is it? No, that one's not early access. Champions? No. I did just get Century Age of Ashes, which isn't early access, but I do want to play that sometime. It's like a dog-fighting game with dragons in multiplayer. Some friends have played that, and they thought it was pretty good. I got Breach and Clear Deadline Rebirth, which looks like it could be interesting, but I don't know. However, as far as early access games are concerned, I got one. I think Frigore was one of them, I believe. It's just a horror-based game, and I think it's in early access. Nope, it's not early access, version 1.4, so that was just a recent game. Excuse me. Oh, perfect. That finally updated. I finally have Game Master Engine in my library. That's interesting. Anyway, let's see. Nope, that's not it. I had it a second ago. Where is it? Infiltralians is not... That one's a full released game. Site Liquidators. I did just... Oh, right here. Project Outbreak is one that looked like a very niche, like... kind of... cartoony, almost. Zombie survival first-person shooter game where you fight off hordes of zombies. Pretty simple, basic concept, but still looks like it could be a relatively decent game. I want to try it out. So I've got that. That one's in early access that I gained access to. I don't know when I'll get to that one. I have a bunch of other games before that one. But I would like to play that. I've been playing Super People, CBT, which I don't know what all CBT stands for. But Super People's been a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with Super People. I was actually really good at that one, at least in solo. In group, in triples, they don't have doubles unlocked yet, but triples, I got my ass handed to me, so that's that. I know there were other ones. I don't know where. I don't see them. I have a long, long list of video games. I have a pretty long list of video games, and it's hard to tell which ones are and are not. Oh, right here. Midnight Ghost Hunt. That one looks interesting. So, Midnight Ghost Hunt is... It seems like it's inspired, at least somewhat inspired, by, like, Phasmophobia and Ghost Hunters Corp and various other games that are like that ghost hunting style. But what it is it's two teams. It's one team that is the Ghost Hunters, and they come with different classes that can fight off and exercise and defeat the ghosts. You have to do a series of objectives to try and stop the ghosts. And then there's the ghosts, and they're the other players. And they have to try and stop the players. Basically, if I'm not mistaken, what it is that you start on the team of the players. Most people start with the Ghost Hunters. And then you, as the ghosts, I might have like one or two players. They have to try and kill members of the Ghost Hunters, and when they die, I think they come over to the ghost side. So then it becomes like you basically recruit them by defeating them systematically, like one by one by one, and you eventually get them all. And if you do that, you win the game, I imagine. And that one looks like it could be a lot of fun. A very different take on that style of game, but it becomes competitive at that point. It's interesting. I don't know. I might like it, might not. We'll see. I would like to play a little bit of that. I had at least one more that I lost in this list of games. I have a bunch of new games. I have Elion, which I don't know. I've heard that it's good. It's like an RPG that has a very good customization option for characters, which I want to play. So I might play a little bit of that on stream sometime soon here, as well as some like Drunken Wrestlers. That looks goofy. Hope I can find a friend to play that with. Dead Frontier, Champions Online, Breach and Clear, Deadline Rebirth. I've already pointed those out. Oh, was it this? No, that's something else. Anyway, those are some ideas of games that I have. Regardless, the ones that I mentioned already. Oh, right there. That's the one I couldn't find because it's set to update. BattleBit. It's another first-person shooter that's kind of like Polygon. Excuse me, I need another drink. But it's kind of like Polygon in that it's like simple polygon shapes, but it looks very ambitious, very like Battlefield in its size and scale. But it's super cute and cartoony and little, like just little scales and like goofy cartoony soldiers and stuff, and like it looks like it could be fun. So I'll try that, and that's a playtest that I got access to as well. So hopefully I'll be able to play those online for you guys. We'll see here in the near future how that goes, and I look forward to doing that. But I believe I'm actually going to be ending my stream here in just a moment. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned into the stream. I appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't already, hit the follow button. Follows go a long way. They show me that you support my content and what I do, and you want to see more content. If you want, you can tell me what you want to see. I have social media linked to this account. You can find it available on my About section. You can find it in various other places across the channel. Feel free to reach out at me, do all the things. Let me know if you have any feedback, any criticisms, etc. Please do follow. Subscriptions go a long way. You don't have to feel the need to, but Prime subscriptions mean a lot, and I'm in between jobs, so hey, it goes a long way. But I appreciate you. I love you very much. I thank you for having tuned into the stream, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And good night, guys.